gozando. Vas moviendo la cintura, sube la temperatura. Yo te regalo mi universo, ya no lo pienses más. Oye, déjame curarte este mal de amores. Me duele verte llorar. Oye, él te trata mal, yo te traigo flores. Dame una oportunidad. Déjame decirte, mami, una cosita. Yo te doy lo que tú necesitas. Solo quiero que tú seas mía. Quiero hacértelo. La luna yo te bajaré. Mi corazón te lo daré. Conmigo vas a enloquecer. Yo quiero estar contigo. Oye, déjame curarte este mal de amores. Me duele verte llorar. Oye, él te trata mal, yo te traigo flores. Dame una oportunidad. Oye, él no te quiere, no sabe cuidarte. Oye, yo tengo un mundo para darte. Yo solo quiero cuidarte. Oye, mueve la cintura. Oye, que seas mía toda la vida. Solo eso quiero.
Hey, Speedy, welcome to the show for everyone. This is SPEEDy Sports on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. We bring you sports moments of your life, and I am Benny Kuji. All right now we have known those that will be playing in the quarterfinals of the Emirate FA Cup. Yes, that have been settled during these weeks matches. We know that Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester City, Liverpool, Championship side, Southampton, and then Port Vale will be playing in the quarterfinals of the Emirate FA Cup. It was an interesting match between all of those teams, and now we'll get to see who will be going to the finals. We know that ahead of this week, there's going to be the Champions League. So a lot of clubs rested their players, so it wasn't even easy for them in that one. They eventually won it, but the Champions League is just by the corner. It's going to be, I think, from tomorrow we'll start talking about the Champions League. Yes. I'll give you the scores for yesterday's game. Later on, I'll give you on the show. I'll give you the scores this weekend. Say there are no matches per se because a lot of clubs are actually, a lot of AFAs are actually giving space for some of their teams that are going to be playing the Champions League to actually find some time to rest. Yes, but what we'll be talking about on the show today has to do with Chelsea. Chelsea's coach Rosinho said something after a Chelsea win over Wrexham. He said that Joao Pedro is in that big boys league of the best strikers in the world right now, comparing him to the likes of Mbappe, Kane, and almighty Haaland. Allow me to use the word almighty Haaland. And he's saying, yes, you can compare Joao Pedro to these strikers. And I think that is what we want to discuss on the show. But before all of that, let's bring you up to speed with the latest sport news around you and around the world. The MTN Champs Athletics Classic in Calabar came to a fitting conclusion on day 3 of the competition, delivering several memorable moments, including the qualification of Team Nigeria's women 4x100 meters relay team for the upcoming World Relays Championships scheduled to hold in Botswana in May. Led by veteran and 3-time Olympian Patience Okon George, alongside promising young stars like Anita Enaruna, Treasure Okereke, and Jacinta Lawrence, the quartet clocked a solid 3 minutes 31.14 seconds to move up to 21st in the world ranking, displacing Mexico to secure their spot at this year's edition of the World Relays, which will be hosted on African soil for the first time. Nigeria's young star Ugo Ugochukwu was the focus of all eyes in the early hours of Sunday as he surprisingly emerged champion of the FIA Formula 3 Championship race in Melbourne, Australia. The talented driver produced an impressive performance on the famous Albert Park circuit to secure victory, further underlying his reputation as one of the most promising young talent in international motorsport. Born and raised in New York City, Ugochukwu is the son of Nigerian fashion model Oluchi Owegba and also Italian father. Despite his American upbringing, the young star has strong Nigerian roots and continues to attract attention within the country's sporting community. Back to our topic of discussion. Football debates are never short of big opinions, but sometimes a statement comes along with that really gets the football world talking. Recently, Liam Rosinho made a bold claim about the rise of Brazilian forward Joao Pedro. According to Rosinho, Pedro's development and influence in attack has placed him in the same elite bracket as some of the most feared attackers in world football today. That's a huge statement when you consider the names being mentioned. Players like Erling Haaland, the goal machine who continues to shatter scoring record. Harry Kane, one of the most complete number 9s of his generation. And Kylian Mbappe, whose pace, skills and finishing have made him one of the most devastating attackers in the modern game. These are players widely regarded as the gold standard for world-class forwards. But where does Joao Pedro truly stand amongst them? Has his recent form, confidence and impact elevated him into that elite conversation, or is it still too early to place him alongside the very best strikers in world football? Tonight on the program, we're asking you, the fans, is Joao Pedro really in the class of Haaland, Kane and Mbappe, or is this praise getting a little ahead of reality? That is our question today. And we actually place Joao Pedro in that elite of world strikers. When you talk about Haaland, you talk about Mbappe, you talk about Kane. Can we actually place Joao Pedro amongst those strikers? Okay, the numbers to call, the lines are already busy. The numbers to call is 0903 648 5868. I'll take the number again, 0903 648 5868. And you can also comment on our Facebook. The Facebook handle is Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Makudi, when you comment on Facebook, I'll be here to read your comments live. Hello.
Hello. Speedy, good evening to you, Uncle Benjamin Kuji.
Hey, Speedy, welcome to the show.
Happy Sunday to you, sir.
I wish you the very best.
MC Oliver Nikia, better known as Busy Brain, the king of sports. Wishing you life and direct in Abenga here in a lady.
Busy Brain, you're welcome to the show. We are talking about Chelsea today.
Yes. That's very exciting one. And you always talk about Chelsea. That proves that we are the champion, and even all the stations where that Chelsea are the champion. So if you do not talk of Chelsea, who are you going to talk of again?
Well, we've been talking of Arsenal of recent too.
Yes. If they definitely become a champion, we'll also talk about them.
Okay, go on.
The question of the day concerning Joao Pedro.
Yes. For
me, at the moment, I do not rate Pedro like the class of striker we have, sort of Haaland and I think some of them. Yes, not, frankly speaking, I'm a true Chelsea fan. I'm not a true fan of Pedro.
Mm.
And so, yeah, he has been playing so fantastic well, but his own style of play is not to that of Haaland and Harry Kane and some of the strikers we have. So if they are bringing 12, 10 strikers, I believe Joao Pedro will come at the top 6 or top 7.
But
It's not even real top 5.
But right now, the statistic we're having, Joao Pedro is up there just after Haaland when it comes to goals without penalties in Europe, just half after Haaland.
Yeah, the young man has been trying, but if we look at the problems, there's one among the key problems Chelsea have about the finishing of goal. They will play competitive match, they will play very well, but to score, they will be finding it difficult. Although the young man has been trying, but you cannot just set the young man to those canvas of striker when you have Haaland in the field or Harry Kane. You know, when Haaland is that position, anybody that close to Haaland, what you'll be seeing, it will be a goal. But when it comes to Joao Pedro, when they cross such ball to them, after you shouting that it's a goal, they will end up either pulling it over the bar or missing the target. So you will not celebrate again.
Okay.
So I do not discourage. The young man is trying. So I believe in the next 2 years, he will also get up his front and he will definitely become like other guys that were mentioning now, the likes of Osimhen and Haaland and some of them.
All right, thanks for that one. Okay, that is a Chelsea fan, Busy Brain. He's saying right now they cannot classify or put Joao Pedro in that class of Haaland, Mbappe, and others. But maybe in the next 2 years we will see Joao Pedro doing just that. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, Benny.
Good evening and welcome to the show.
Thank you. This is John Joao Anduna from Yelwata.
Okay, Anduna, go on.
What is the topic of today, please?
Okay, Liam Rosinho says that Joao Pedro is in the class of Harry Kane, Mbappe, and Haaland. I'm asking you, is that actually correct? Can we put Joao Pedro in that class of the top strikers in Europe right now?
Yes, and Joao Pedro is proving a lot. That young man is doing a lot. In fact, I praise him. Whenever a young player is so much he's supposed to praise by him. He's trying a lot. The young man. So the talent is coming more and more from him. So I personally, in that role, I am giving him money that he's supposed to be there.
You are giving him that role to be there.
Yes.
All right, thanks for that one.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, Aondona is saying that though he's a young man, with the way he's playing, he's saying he's putting him in that bracket. Hello?
Good evening, Benny Kuji.
Good evening and welcome to the show.
Yes, this is Ugondo Amos. I'm calling from Sabongida again.
Ugondo, you're welcome to the show.
Yes.
Go on.
Pedro can't be compared to the strikers you have mentioned.
How so?
The likes of Haaland, Harry Kane, and Mbappe. It will take about 2 to 3 years before he reaches to that stage.
How so? Why would you say that?
These strikers you mentioned are world-class strikers. If you give them about 5 chances, maybe they will convert 4 or 3. But Pedro is not a match.
But the statistic we're having here says the shot conversion of Pedro stands at roughly 24.6%, actually higher than even Harry Kane, that is 22.5%, and Kylian Mbappe 20.7%. What can you say about that?
Maybe the statistic came out to just please him.
Statistics don't lie. Statistics don't lie.
It's just to please him or encourage him to do more.
No,
he's not quality of those strikers. So I'm a Chelsea fan, but I know what those strikers can do.
Okay.
If they are rocking, now you are 18. No defender will come out. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for that one. Okay. He's saying that though he's actually good, but we cannot place him in that bracket of Harry Kane, Erling Haaland and Mbappe. And what I'm asking, what is your take on this? And if you just join us, this is Speedy Sports on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. Will bring you sports moments of your life, and my name is Benny Kuji. Today on the show, I'm asking a simple question. Chelsea's coach Liam Rossinho says that when you talk about the top strikers in the world right now, the top strikers, Mbappe, you talk about Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland, and Kane. Would you put a certain young man, Joao Pedro, in their midst and say yes, he is in that bracket? And Rosinho is saying that yes, he is in that bracket. And I'm asking you, do you agree with Rosinho that Joao Pedro is one of the top strikers in the world? The number to call on the show is 0903 648 5868. I'll take the number again, 0903 648 5868. Do you agree with the Chelsea coach that Joao Pedro is in that bracket of the best strikers in the world? A lot of arguments about that. Some people are saying that he's still a young man. He would need up to 3 years to prove himself to get to that level. The likes of Harry Kane, the likes of Mbappe, the likes of Haaland didn't just wake up one day and got that prestige that we are talking about. It took them years, and Joao Pedro is just doing it. He's just on the road. But when we look at the statistic, I just spoke with the last caller here right now, and I was telling him that the shot conversion for Joao Pedro is even higher than Erling Haaland. The shot conversion for Joao Pedro is 24.6%, which is actually higher than Erling Haaland at 22.5%. and Kylian Mbappe at 20.7% this season. That is what the statistics is saying. And also, when you talk about the top clubs and the top leagues in Europe, without penalties, only Haaland has more goals than Joao Pedro. Haaland has 19 goals without penalties, while Joao Pedro is up there with 14. And I'm asking on the show, if you want to place those strikers, will you put this young man, Joao Pedro, among the best strikers in the world? The number to call is 0903 648 5868. I'll take the number again, 0903 648 5868. And you can also comment on our Facebook. The Facebook handle is Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, Benny Kuji.
Good evening and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. You are on to Prince Sefa, popularly known as MP50 Kwanyinaga, calling you in Assassin, not Bank.
Okay, MC, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Tell us something.
Hello?
Go on.
You see, I've heard what you yourself, the way you are analyzing about Joao Pedro. The way Premier League rate player now, they will make the person who not even perform again. If you are talking about Joao Pedro, comparing him with the Hurricane, this Man City guy and
Haaland.
Haaland, thank you. You see, people are here before this boy. When you don't wake up one day and decide to press him on those people now, he will not do what he know how to do better. Let us watch those players keenly and price them the way they're supposed to be. If you wake up today and you press him along this pool, his head will be big and he cannot play what he know how to play best.
I am not the one that placed him there. It is his coach. It is his coach that said he is in that bracket of those players. I'm not the one that said it.
No, I understand you perfectly clear. I'm not saying you said it. I will come to that point that I will mention the coach.
Okay.
The coach wants him to kill his career because he took him to a place he's about to arrive. It's like you are traveling to Lagos and you are in Ibadan and you say you are in Lagos. John Pedro is a good player, but you cannot compare him with those people.
Why wouldn't you compare him with them? Why? Give me reasons.
The age John Pedro has, he still has something more than those players that are on that point. Because when they were like his age, they wasn't here. So if you decide now to say John Pedro is like them, his head will be big and he will not be even performing the way you're supposed to.
Does the age actually says determines who will be one of the good player at this age? Messi was already something else in the world.
Okay, we are Benny Kuji. I don't have much to say. I wish him well.
All right, thank you very much.
With that access that he put his player a good result to perform to him.
All right, thank you very much for calling.
Why I say this, Benny Kuji, why I say this, you see, we the supporters now, any matches we saw John Pedro inside, you will be looking at a player that he will deliver. You understand?
All right. Thanks for calling. Okay. For him, I think he's basically saying that bringing Joao Pedro out and saying this about him, you were putting him under so much pressure. I think that is what he's trying to say. He's a young man. He still needs time to develop and play the kind of football that he will want. But if you at this age that is still developing, if you come out and say that he's the best comparing to Haaland and the others, that is going to be more pressure on him and he may not perform. I think that is what he's trying to say. But for you, what do you think about what he just said, or what his coach Rosinho also says about this? But some of the statistics that we have here, when it comes to goals in Europe this season, we're giving it up to Harry Kane, 45 goals, 9 assists, minutes per goal, 66.7 minutes per goal. Kylian Mbappe, 38 goals this season, 7 assists, minutes per goal, 74.8. While Erling Haaland, 29 goals, 7 assists, 106.5 minutes per goal, while Joao Pedro comes down there with 21 goals, 6 assists, and 146.0 minutes per goal. That is the statistics we have there. Okay, maybe if we have just one call or so, we'll just end the show. But let's go take the results for yesterday's matches. There were no much matches in up there in but in the Spanish La Liga. Osasuna played a 2-all draw with Real Mallorca. Levante played a 1-all draw with Genoa, and then Atletico Madrid defeated Real Sociedad 3-2. A very good one for Atletico Madrid. And then Athletic Club lost to Barcelona 1-0. In Germany, in the German's Bundesliga, okay, we have a caller. Let's just pick this call and then we'll call it. Okay, it's a drop call. Okay, in the German's Bundesliga, Heindem lost 4-2 to Hoffenheim, and then Freiburg played a 3-3 draw with Bayern Leverkusen. Mainz 05 played a 2-2 draw versus Stuttgart, and then RB Leipzig defeated Augsburg 2-1. Wolfsburg, actually they just sacked their coach of recent. They lost again to Hamburg 2-1, while FC Cologne fell at the hands of Borussia Dortmund 2-1. 1. In the Italian Serie A, Cagliari lost to Comos. Fabregas is actually doing something wonderful in Comos, defeating Cagliari 2-1. Atalanta played a 2-2 draw with Udinese, and Juventus defeated Pisa 4-0. And these are the matches that were played. And then in the FA Cup, Mansfield lost to Arsenal 2-1, and Wrexham lost to Chelsea 4-2, and then Newcastle United collected a thrashing from Manchester City 3-1. These are the matches for yesterday. There are no much games to talk about today, but tomorrow we'll be here to talk about the Champions League. We're going to the Champions League week, and it's going to be an interesting one. Okay. Let me just give a recap of, for me, I think that world-class conversation that we are talking about, I think Rosinho is just putting pressure on that young man. Liam Pedro, before we start talking about Joao Pedro, we'll start hearing about him even being mentioned in the Ballon d'Or. He has not even been mentioned in Ballon d'Or, so I don't think he is even close to that level. The players like Harry Kane, Haaland, Mbappe, they are established institutions already. Maybe he will, in some few years' time, he will be there to talk with these big boys. Okay, this is the much we can take on the show. Tomorrow we'll be here to talk about SPEEDy Sports on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Makodi, from me to you, like I always say, God bless your heart. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
This is
Asking Radio 98.5 FM.
Oye, déjame curarte este mal de amores. Me duele verte llorar. Oye, él te trata mal, yo te traigo flores. Dame una oportunidad. Él te jura un falso amor, es un abusador. Juega con tu corazón, sabes decir que no. La ilusión, el tiempo ni la razón. Oye, déjame curarte este mal de amores. Me duele verte llorar. Oye, él te trata mal, yo te traigo flores. Dame una oportunidad. Tu cuerpo y el mío juntitos bailando. Felices gozando, vas moviendo la cintura, sube la temperatura, yo te regalo mi universo, ya no lo pienses más. Oye, déjame curarte este mal de amores, me duele verte llorar. Oye, él te trata mal, yo te traigo flores.
As King Radio 98.5